Since the dawn of Hollywood and the entertainment industry, black celebrities have faced systemic discrimination, often being marginalized or overlooked despite their immense contributions to music, film, and culture. However, in more recent history, the challenges have taken an even more devastating turn, with many black celebrities tragically losing their lives under shocking and often preventable circumstances. Each story is a heartbreaking reminder of the talent lost too soon. Here are the 15 black celebrities who were brutally murdered. Tupac Shakur. On September 13, 1996, Tupac Shakur's life ended tragically at just 25 years old, following an incident in Las Vegas. Earlier that evening, Tupac attended a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Hotel. Shortly after, he was involved in a confrontation with a man named Orlando Anderson, a suspected gang affiliate, in the hotel lobby. Hours later, while heading to a nightclub with Death Row Records founder Suge Knight, Tupac's vehicle was ambushed at a stoplight. He sustained multiple injuries, which led to his passing 6 days later in the hospital. The case captured global attention, but was fraught with complications from the start. Orlando Anderson, identified as a key suspect, denied involvement and was never charged. The investigation was hindered by a lack of cooperation from witnesses, many of whom feared retaliation. The case went cold for years, fueling conspiracy theories that Tupac faked his death, or that it was part of a larger feud within the music industry. In 2023, a major breakthrough occurred when Dwayne "Keffe D. Davis," a self-proclaimed witness to the events, was arrested and charged with involvement in Tupac's death. Davis had long boasted of being in the car during the incident, claiming connections to the alleged shooters. While the case against Davis is ongoing, it has reignited hope among fans and the public that justice may finally be served. Tupac's death remains one of the most discussed and debated tragedies in music history, highlighting the ongoing challenges of addressing violence and accountability in the entertainment industry. The Notorious B.I.G. On March 9, 1997, Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious Big, lost his life at the young age of 24 in an incident that shocked the music industry. After attending a party hosted by Vibe magazine in Los Angeles, Biggie was leaving the event in a car with his entourage when their vehicle was approached at a stoplight. A gunman in a nearby vehicle fired multiple times, and Biggie suffered critical injuries, passing away shortly after being rushed to the hospital. Biggie's death was eerily similar to Tupac Shakur's, occurring just 6 months later and fueling speculation about the ongoing East Coast-West Coast rap feud. Theories of revenge and gang-related motives dominated discussions, with some linking the incident to tensions between their respective record labels, Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records. Despite extensive media coverage and numerous theories, the investigation into Biggie's death stalled. Witnesses were hesitant to cooperate, and key leads fizzled out, leaving the case unsolved. In 2002, Biggie's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the LAPD, alleging corruption and involvement in a cover-up. While the case brought renewed attention, it failed to yield definitive answers. Biggie's passing left a gaping hole in the hip-hop world. Known for hits like Juicy and Big Papa, his storytelling and charisma set a new standard for the genre. His posthumous album, Life After Death, cemented his legacy, making him a legendary figure whose influence continues to shape music today. Sam Cooke. On December 11, 1964, Sam Cooke, the legendary soul singer, passed away at the age of 33 under circumstances that remain controversial to this day. The incident took place at the Hacienda Motel in Los Angeles. According to official reports, Cooke had an altercation with the motel manager, Bertha Franklin, which resulted in his fatal injuries. Franklin claimed self-defense, stating that Cooke had stormed into her office demanding to know the whereabouts of a woman he had been with earlier that evening. The situation stemmed from an earlier encounter at a bar, where Cooke had reportedly spent the evening with Elisa Boyer. Boyer later claimed she fled to the motel's office after feeling threatened by Cooke. Cooke, wearing only a jacket and one shoe, pursued her, leading to the confrontation with Franklin. The official narrative states that Franklin acted in self-defense after fearing her safety. While the courts ruled it a justifiable act, many of Cooke's fans and associates questioned this account. Rumors of foul play swirled, with some speculating that Cooke had been set up. These doubts persisted because of inconsistencies in witness statements and Cooke's significant wealth, which may have made him a target. Despite his tragic end, Sam Cooke's legacy as a trailblazer in soul music endures. Known for timeless hits like A Change Is Gonna Come and You Send Me, he was also a civil rights advocate who fought for racial equality and artistic rights. His passing left an indelible mark on music history, with questions about his death lingering to this day. Alton Sterling. On July 5, 2016, Alton Sterling, a 37-year-old street vendor, tragically lost his life during an encounter with police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Known in the community for selling CDs outside a convenience store, Sterling was approached by two police officers responding to a report report of an individual allegedly threatening someone with a firearm. Video footage captured by bystanders showed a confrontation between Sterling and the officers, during which he was pinned to the ground. Moments later, the officers claimed he was reaching for a gun, leading to the use of lethal force. Sterling's death was recorded on cell phones, sparking outrage as the footage quickly spread online. Sterling's family and supporters called for justice, citing systemic racial bias in policing as a key factor in his death. Protests erupted across the country, with Baton Rouge becoming a focal point for activists demanding accountability and police reform. The U.S. Department of Justice launched an investigation, but ultimately decided not to press federal charges against the officers involved. Similarly, state prosecutors later declined to pursue charges, citing insufficient evidence of wrongdoing. Sterling's death became a symbol of the broader movement against police brutality, joining a long list of cases that highlighted racial inequality within the justice system. His name remains central to discussions about reform and accountability, a stark reminder of the urgent need for systemic change. Nipsey Hussle. On March 31, 2019, Nipsey Hussle, a beloved rapper, entrepreneur, and community activist, tragically passed away at the age of 33 outside his Marathon clothing store in South Los Angeles. Born Ermias Asghedam, Nipsey was known not only for his music but also for his dedication to uplifting the community he grew up in. On the day of the incident, Nipsey was meeting with friends and local residents outside his store when an altercation occurred. The assailant, identified as Eric Holder, was captured on surveillance cameras approaching Nipsey and engaging in a heated argument. Witnesses reported that Holder left the scene briefly, only to return armed and fire multiple times at Nipsey, fatally wounding him and injuring two others. Nipsey succumbed to his injuries on the scene, leaving fans, friends, and family devastated. The motive for the crime appeared to stem from a personal dispute. According to reports, Nipsey had allegedly accused Holder of cooperating with law enforcement, leading to the confrontation. Holder, who fled the scene, was arrested 2 days later after a massive manhunt. In 2022, Eric Holder was tried for the crime. Prosecutors presented strong evidence, including video footage, eyewitness accounts, and Holder's actions immediately after the incident. He was convicted of first-degree murder, along with additional charges for injuring the bystanders. In February 2023, Holder was sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. Nipsey's death was a significant loss, not only for the music world, but for the community he tirelessly worked to uplift. His legacy continues through initiatives like Vector 90, a co-working space he co-founded to provide opportunities for underprivileged youth, and the ongoing impact of his music, which speaks to resilience, ambition, and social change. Roderick Anthony Burton II. On May 18, 2009, Roderick Anthony Burton II, known by his stage name Dollar, tragically passed away at just 21 years old in an incident at the Beverly Center Mall in Los Angeles. Dollar, a rising rapper celebrated for his potential in the hip-hop industry, had been at the mall with friends when the event unfolded. Reports indicate that an argument escalated between Dollar and an individual identified as Aubrey Berry. According to eyewitness accounts, Dollar was leaving the mall when Berry confronted him in the valet area. A sudden altercation ensued, during which Berry used a firearm, leading to Dollar sustaining fatal injuries. He was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced deceased shortly thereafter. The incident shocked fans and the music industry alike, as Dollar was seen as an artist with immense promise, known for tracks like Who the Fong Is That? And collaborations with major artists. Berry was apprehended at Los Angeles International Airport later that day while attempting to board a flight to Atlanta. During his trial, Berry claimed he acted in self-defense, alleging that he felt threatened by Dollar due to a prior dispute in Atlanta. However, the prosecution argued that the act was premeditated, citing evidence of Berry being armed and following Dollar to the mall. In 2010, Berry was acquitted of all charges, including first-degree murder, after the jury found reasonable doubt in the case. Dollar's death remains a painful reminder of how fleeting life can be, especially for young artists. His fans and family continue to honor his memory, celebrating the potential he showed during his brief but impactful career. Marvin Gaye. On April 1, 1984, Marvin Gaye, one of Motown's most iconic and influential singers, tragically lost his life at the age of 44 in a family dispute that ended in heartbreak. The incident occurred at the Los Angeles home Marvin shared with his parents. Known for timeless hits like What's Going On and Let's Get It On, Marvin was at a crossroads in his life, dealing with financial troubles, depression, and strained family dynamics. On the day of the tragedy, a heated argument erupted between Marvin and his father, Marvin Gaye Sr., over a minor household issue. The confrontation quickly escalated, with Marvin intervening to protect his mother, Alberta. According to accounts, the dispute turned physical, and his father retrieved a gun, a gift Marvin had given him years earlier. During the altercation, in a shocking turn of events, he fired twice, striking Marvin in the chest. Marvin was pronounced deceased shortly after. The case brought intense media scrutiny, as the world struggled to reconcile the loss of such a beloved artist with the tragic circumstances of his passing. Marvin Gaye Sr. was charged with voluntary manslaughter, but avoided a lengthy prison sentence after pleading no contest, citing diminished capacity due to a brain tumor and years of emotional strain. Marvin Gaye's death remains one of music's most heartbreaking stories. Despite his personal struggles, his contributions to soul R&B and social activism are unparalleled. Fans continue to celebrate his legacy, ensuring that his music and message of love, peace, and understanding endure across generations. XXXTentacion. On June 18, 2018, José Onfroy, better known as XXXTentacion, lost his life at just 20 years old in an incident that shocked the music world. The young rapper, known for his deeply emotional and genre-defying music, was leaving a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida, when the tragic event occurred. Surveillance footage showed that as XXXTentacion attempted to leave the dealership, his vehicle was blocked by an SUV. Two armed men approached his car and demanded valuables. Despite briefly resisting, XXXTentacion ultimately handed over a Louis Vuitton bag containing $50,000 in cash, which he had just withdrawn from the bank. However, the altercation escalated, and the assailants fired before fleeing the scene. José was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced deceased shortly after, leaving fans and fellow artists stunned and heartbroken. The investigation quickly yielded results, with authorities identifying 4 suspects: Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsom, Dedrick Williams, and Robert Allen. Evidence, including surveillance footage and cell phone records, linked them to the crime. Boatwright was identified as the one who carried out the act, while Newsom served as the second gunman. All 4 were arrested and faced multiple charges, including first-degree murder and armed robbery. In 2023, Boatwright, Newsom, and Williams were convicted and sentenced to life in prison without parole, while Allen received a reduced sentence for cooperating with investigators. XXXTentacion's passing highlighted the vulnerability of young artists navigating sudden fame and wealth. His music, filled with themes of mental health, resilience, and self-expression, continues to inspire millions, ensuring his legacy lives on. Jason Mizell. On October 30th, 2002, Jason Mizell, famously known as Jam Master Jay, a founding member of the legendary hip-hop group Run DMC, tragically passed away at the age of 37. The incident occurred inside his recording studio in Queens, New York, where he was working with aspiring artists. Around 7:30 p.m., 2 individuals entered the studio, and moments later, Jam Master Jay was fatally injured. Another individual present was also injured during the incident. The news sent shockwaves through the music world, as Jam Master Jay was not only a trailblazer in hip-hop, but also a beloved mentor and community figure. Despite an intensive investigation, the case went cold for nearly 2 decades, leaving fans and family members frustrated and searching for answers. Many speculated that the motive might be linked to business disputes or past affiliations, but no clear evidence emerged initially. A breakthrough came in 2020 when federal authorities charged 2 men, Carl Jordan Jr. and Ronald Washington, in connection with the case. According to prosecutors, the incident stemmed from a drug trafficking dispute. Jam Master Jay had reportedly been involved in a deal that soured, leading to the confrontation in the studio. Witnesses and forensic evidence played a key role in finally bringing charges after years of uncertainty. The trial for Jordan and Washington is ongoing, with prosecutors pushing for justice. Jam Master Jay's death remains a stark reminder of the challenges faced by even the most respected figures in the music industry. His legacy as a pioneering DJ and cultural icon lives on, inspiring new generations of hip-hop artists worldwide. Big L. Lamont Coleman. On February 15, 1999, Lamont Coleman, known as Big L, was tragically lost at the age of 24 in Harlem, New York. Big L, recognized as one of the most promising lyricists of his time, was walking near his home when he became the victim of a targeted drive-by incident. Authorities later speculated that the attack was a revenge act intended for his older brother, who had a history of disputes with local individuals. The investigation into Big L's passing was slow, with a suspect being arrested years later, but eventually released due to insufficient evidence. The unresolved case left fans and the hip-hop community devastated, as many believe Big L had the potential to become one of the greatest rappers of all time. His posthumous releases, including The Big Picture, showcase the talent that was lost far too soon, ensuring his legacy endures in the world of rap. Robert Johnson. On August 16, 1938, at just 27 years old, blues legend Robert Johnson passed away under mysterious circumstances in Greenwood, Mississippi. Often regarded as one of the greatest guitarists and pioneers of blues music, Johnson's death has long been shrouded in intrigue. Reports suggest he was poisoned, possibly by a jealous husband after rumors of an affair. Despite his short life and career, Johnson's music profoundly influenced the blues and rock genres. His recordings, including Crossroad Blues and Sweet Home Chicago, have become iconic. His untimely passing contributes to the mythology of the 27 Club, and his story remains one of the most enigmatic in music history, adding to his legendary status. Huey Lawrence Franks Jr. On June 25, 2020, Lawrence Franks Jr., known by his stage name Huey, passed away at the age of 31 in Kinloch, Missouri. Best known for his 2006 hit Pop, Lock, and Drop It, Huey had been an influential voice in the St. Louis hip-hop scene. He was standing outside a family member's home when a double incident occurred. Another person nearby also sustained injuries but survived. The loss of Huey was felt deeply in the hip-hop community, as he had recently begun working on new music and projects. Despite his mainstream success being brief, his contributions left a lasting impression on fans, making him a symbol of the early 2000s hip-hop era. Philando Castile. On July 6, 2016, Philando Castile's life came to a tragic end during a routine traffic stop in Falcon Heights, Minnesota. Castile, a 32-year-old school cafeteria worker beloved by students and staff, was pulled over by police for a minor violation. As he informed the officer that he legally carried a firearm, an unfortunate escalation occurred. Castile's partner live-streamed the aftermath, capturing a moment that sparked nationwide protests against police violence. His passing became a rallying cry for the Black Lives Matter movement, shining a light on systemic racial disparities. Although the officer involved was later acquitted, Philando's name remains a symbol of the ongoing fight for justice and police accountability. Oscar Grant. On January 1, 2009, 22-year-old Oscar Grant's life ended in a tragic event at the Fruitvale BART station in Oakland, California. Returning home from New Year's Eve celebrations, Grant was detained by transit officers following reports of a fight. Video footage captured an officer pinning Grant face down before an unintentional discharge from the officer's firearm occurred, resulting in his death. The incident, witnessed by bystanders who recorded it, ignited outrage and protest nationwide. The officer claimed he mistook his firearm for a taser and was later convicted of involuntary manslaughter, serving 11 months in prison. Grant's story inspired the critically acclaimed film Fruitvale Station, ensuring his memory remains a call for reform and justice. Pop Smoke. On February 19, 2020, at the age of 20, Bashar Baraka Jackson, known as Pop Smoke, lost his life in a tragic home invasion in Hollywood Hills, California. Pop Smoke, who had rapidly risen to fame with hits like Welcome to the Party and Dior, was staying at a rental property when intruders broke in during the early morning hours. Authorities believe the suspects targeted Pop Smoke after his address was unintentionally revealed on social media. 4 individuals, including minors, were later arrested and charged with involvement in the incident. His death underscored the risks public figures face in the digital age, especially when privacy is compromised. Despite his short career, Pop Smoke's impact on the Brooklyn drill music scene was immense. His posthumous albums, including Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, continue to top charts and solidify his legacy as one of the most influential young artists of his generation.